Part 4, here we go.
The FBI was alerted about this, right?
Yes.
And the FBI concluded that while those emails were in your organization's possession, they had been sent to your organization from outside, correct?
Yes.
And that
See, he's got him. They've told him so many times, say yes or no, that he's fallen right into it. Keep articulating your questions, slow down, and even if you have to repeat his question entirely, yes, they did give him that. Yes, I believe that is correct. Slow down, dude.
there wasn't any evidence that you or anybody in your organization had opened them, correct?
Yes.
In other words, that although they had been sent to us, that had been done inadvertently, correct?
Yes.
And when you were advised of this, you were upset, yes?
Yes.
And so you went on the air, correct?
Yes.
And you blamed my office for having planted it, correct?
No.
Mr. Jones, do you want to see the video, sir?
That's not a question. Yes, I want to see the video. Make him play the video.
Go ahead and roll it.
Would you like me to?
I mean, if you want to.
You offered $1 million to have my head on a pike.
No, objection, that mischaracterizes it. This, may we approach?
I don't think we need to. That's
Yeah, I do.
So, come on.
He didn't. I was sitting right there. Yeah. He was never charged with it.
You've seen the video.
You've seen the video, and he said he talked about his suspicions about Mr. Manny, but he never said. He said he'd offer $1 million for the person who did it. He had suspicions about him. To suggest as an officer of the court otherwise, excuse me, to suggest otherwise as an officer of the court, I'm asking for a curative instruction and admonishment of counsel.
Watch the video.
I was sitting there. I don't need
Can you
to.
ask? So I'm not going to give a curative instruction. I'm not going to admonish. Can you ask?
See, she don't want to admonish him. No matter what he does, he's not going to get in trouble. She is so freaking biased, it's ridiculous.
In a different way?
Well, he hasn't answered it.
Right. So,
So you can say
it's
no, I
objected
guess.
to. So can you ask it in a different way?
No, he can say no if he wants, and I can impeach him.
Can you ask it in a different way?
I don't want to ask it in a different way.
So then I'll sustain the objection. And
Okay, so he could say no and I can impeach him. Basically, he's saying if he says no, he's lying because the video says he does say it, and then I'll impeach him. Which Alex should be thinking right now is whatever he answers me, I'm going to say, from the best of my recollection, no, I did not. He needs to throw in, from the best of my recollection, from what I remember sitting here today, or I don't remember ever saying that. He needs to add those phrases so he doesn't get locked down.
then
Thank you.
Try to ask it.
If I was the attorney, I would have said, I need to talk to my client real quick. I'd have went over and whispered in his ear. Make sure you say, to the best of my recollection, or from you remember today, on these answers. Unless you're absolutely sure.
And attorney, we're due for a break anytime between now and the next 10 minutes. I'm going to leave it up
Great.
to you as to when
Yep.
is a good point.
Thank you. Yep. So, Mr. Jones, when you found out about this, you went on your show, right?
Yes.
And you held my picture up to your audience, yes?
You have to refresh my memory.
Oh, Mr. Jones,
Good. Good.
you know you did that, don't you?
Objection.
Overruled.
You know you did that.
Don't ever let an attorney talk you into an answer. Never.
No, I believe you conflated your picture being on the pile of stuff, me saying it was a reward to find out who did it. So how is there a reward
Right.
if we don't?
So, Mr. Jones, the question was, you held my picture up, and I'm not sure I got your answer. Was it yes, no, or I don't know?
Or you don't recall.
I don't recall.
what
I
he said.
don't recall.
Do you recall pounding on my picture? Do you recall
I
that?
pound on my desk all the time. It was a pile of papers. I remember that.
Okay, all right. And the reason I'm doing this is because when you went on the air and did all that,
What do you mean the reason why you're doing this? I don't care. Is there a question?
people found out that there was this issue about your company having sent child pornography to my office, correct? That's how people found out about it.
Well, you're not going to be clear that someone sent it to me?
No. I think we've established that.
No, but you're getting it set up for clips, though. I know what you're doing.
Mr. Jones, really, I think it's established, and nobody contests that you had nothing to do with that child pornography. Okay, let's make that clear.
Yeah, you guys found it.
Correct. We found it because it was sent to us, right?
Because it was embedded, and then you guys found it. Really good job.
So
So he's implying that they set it up, and of course they're saying we didn't.
I know I'm not supposed to start.
no, no commentary.
Again, let me talk to him like he's a kid. Let me admonish him in front. I won't admonish this attorney who's been doing all kind of bullshit, but I'll admonish him every chance I get. This attorney ought to write down the number of times that this judge admonished the witness on a stand to discredit him and to cause him to have less credibility.
But when you went on the air, that's how it became public that there was this whole issue that child pornography had been sent from your company to my law office, correct?
Objection, Judge, that calls for speculation that will be one evidence.
I don't remember.
All right.
Good.
But in any event, once it became public, you claimed that Brianna Wu and Andrew Kimmel and the Young Turks had lied about you having sent it, correct?
They said more than that, if I remember.
Right, and you allege that in your complaint, right?
Yes.
And that was deeply harmful to you, that they had lied about the fact that you had sent child pornography, right?
People still say it all the time, everywhere.
It's a terrible thing to be accused of, correct?
Yeah, but they quit saying it, so I dropped the suit.
And they...
I'm glad he got that in. Shows that he wasn't after money. He just wanted him to stop. They're implying he's greedy and he wants to make money. That was a good slide in that he got in.
were spreading to all over the internet this lie about you that you had sent child pornography, correct?
Purposefully, yeah, that was the issue.
And that's why you brought this lawsuit, yes?
Yeah.
Okay. Your Honor, this would be a fine time for a break.
All right, so we will take.
Okay, so they're going for a break? Okay, back from break.
Mr. Jones, before the break, we were talking about this lawsuit that you brought, right? You remember
Yes.
that? Okay. And again, this lawsuit was brought against Mrs. Wu, Mr. Kimmel, and the Young Turks LLC for them stating online that you had sent child pornography to the plaintiffs in this case, correct?
They said more than that.
Okay. But was that the gist of it?
No.
Tell me what you sued them for.
I mean, they said that I intentionally did it, and that I was, horrible. They said a bunch of stuff. It was a lot of different program shows,
Okay.
and we.
Okay. But the gist of the lie here was that you had sent child pornography to the plaintiffs in this case, yes?
Yes, not that it had been sent to me unopened, then discovered by you and discovery sent to you.
They left that part out, correct?
I don't remember now.
Okay. But that would have been important context for them to provide an accurate account of what happened here, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And they didn't do that.
Yes.
Y'all see where he's going? You talked about Sandy Hook and you did all this. It was okay for you to sue somebody when they did to you, but now you're saying you shouldn't be sued when you did it to the poor victims of Sandy Hook. That's where he's going.
Right. And as a result of those statements, you claimed that this had resulted in viral spread of this lie about you, correct?
Yes.
The Young Turks had a Twitter account. They posted it to that, correct?
They have a popular television show that's also on television, and the issue was I
just asked you about the Twitter account, sir. So let's just go one step at a time. I mean,
Okay.
the concern you had was that this lie about you was spreading online, correct?
Yes.
In a viral way, right?
Yes.
And what you meant by that was that it was taking off online, correct?
Yes.
And reaching a wide audience, yes?
Yes.
And the more people who come into contact with this, as you called it, one of the worst smears that can be spread about anyone, the more people that came in contact with that, the more damage was being done to you, correct?
I mean, I think that's fair to say.
And because the more people who see this, the more people who might believe it, right?
Well, I don't know they're going to believe it, but
That's the concern, right?
yes.
Because if people believe, especially a large number of people who encounter this lie on the internet, that you possess child pornography, that would be a horrible, horrible stain on your reputation as an individual, correct?
I think it's 20 years in prison, too.
Correct. They accused you of a felony, didn't they?
Yes.
And not only just any felony. I mean, assault is a felony, but this is a particular kind of felony, possessing child pornography, right?
And distributing it.
And distributing it. And it's the type of allegation that would provoke a lot of anger in people who if they were to believe that about you, right?
Yes.
And might provoke people to even want to confront you about it, right?
Objection calls for speculation what might occur.
I think you testified earlier that you have come across people who have accused you of this, right?
It's still ongoing.
Right. And if that happens, obviously there are certain measures you need to take to try and protect yourself from people who may need to do you harm as a result of this, right?
And when they stop saying it, we drop the suit. We just want them to stop saying it.
But I'm just saying, when people believe something horrible like this, that you're a child pornographer, that could lead to people who believe it to hate you, right?
Objection calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I mean, I think that's fair to say.
And if they really believed it and they really hated you, you might have a few people come after you, right?
Objection speculative.
Overruled.
Well, like the police.
That's one, right? But what about people who are just out there and unhinged, thinking, Alex Jones, child pornographer. Next time I see him, boy. That's a concern, right? It's a reasonable concern.
And they name my name. I didn't name most of these people's names.
Yeah, I'm not asking you about that, right? I know you might kind of see where I'm going here.
Objection to strike.
Let's move on to the next question.
And as a result of that concern, you yourself have taken measures to protect you and your family, correct?
Well, we have to have more security as a Sandy Hook thing, actually, than that.
But you got security guards in the courtroom right now, don't you?
Yeah.
These two gentlemen over here in the black jackets, that's part of your security team.
Yes.
They follow you everywhere you go, right?
Yes, not due to the fake child porn, but due to this.
You've had a security team for a long time, haven't you?
But the main, you're asking.
I'm just asking you.
Objection.
Have you had a security team for a long time?
Doors.
It's a yes or no, whether he's had a security team for.
Why? Objection.
4 years since the Sandy Hook suits.
And this gentleman here on the right, that's Tim Enwell, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, he's your head of security.
Yes.
And they walk around with earpieces, right? So they can communicate with one another.
I don't know they have those.
You flew up here on a private jet, is that right?
A charter plane.
Charter plane, okay. And so one of the reasons you do that
So now they're trying to make him look rich. He's got security and he's flying around on a private jet.
is because you travel commercial. You know who you're going to run into, right?
Since this case, yes.
Okay.
Since the Texas case, it's
Jones, you really want to?
bad.
It's not a big point here, but you are under oath, and so I just want to ask you.
Objection, Judge, again.
So let's.
He cannot keep saying you're under oath. That implies you're lying. That's bullshit. He's getting away with that.
Just get the
Is it your
next question.
testimony
Objection
that
we have
you've never
Right,
chartered?
just 1 second. Sidebar, please.
So this sidebar is going to be like, you better fucking let me rule and you better listen to my freaking ruling. And you don't interrupt me when I'm ruling. They're both going to get it.
So, I'm going to get this. I don't want to interrupt him. So what do you suggest? You're talking. I can't hear you. Can we stop that? Can we stop it?
I objected to his instructing counsel, which is the role of the court. You've been said to.
Right, so if you haven't, you just, I don't want to interject myself more than I need to, but if you're not, just ask me. And I'm happy to do it.
Yep.
Well, that was a real big ass chewing. Whoa, I'm scared.
So just try to listen to the questions I asked. If there's an objection, we'll stop, and then, and then, yes or no, or I don't know, right, I'll go, okay?
Is it your sworn testimony that you've never chartered a private jet before this lawsuit, sir?
Yes.
Never. Before 2018 had you chartered a private jet. You sure you want to say that?
Yes.
All right. So in the financials that you turned over to us, we won't see any expenses prior to 2018 for any private chartered
He's fishing.
air travel, correct?
You said a jet. I mean, I think we rented Cessnas for aerial news shows at the border. One time, me and my wife and my children were in Canada. We rented a seaplane that flew us for a couple hours up to a place to eat. But other than that, I've never known. Not till now. Not till this.
Okay, so your testimony is that prior to this lawsuit, you actually did fly on chartered planes, correct?
See, he just implied he lied. He just got, because he agreed to all this, because he didn't say, I don't understand the question. Are you talking about like me and my wife, or are you because he volunteered all this shit, now the attorney gets to imply that he lied earlier. Here we go.
No, you said a jet.
I'm sorry. If I was confusing you but with the word jet.
Would a hot air balloon count? I have also rented those a few times in my life.
Okay, let's.
I fucking love it. Good job, Alex. Sometimes I stick my arms out and I run around the living room going, rrr, rrr, rrr. Does that count?
No, that's not what I was referring to. But
I have rented.
So,
I,
wait for,
Sorry, go ahead.
just wait for questions. There's no question.
just see if you can answer this yes or no, sir.
See, you cannot start saying yes or no. Don't let them fucking do that. They can't tell you how to testify.
Prior to this lawsuit, you had paid for chartered private air travel, correct?
yes, not jets.
And in addition to the security team that you have and your private air travel arrangements, I take it that you have security systems at your homes, correct?
Sure.
And obviously at your office, you have pretty extensive security at the InfoWars offices.
Yes.
And think of all that money he has to spend on that. Wow.
So with this lawsuit, why don't we bring up I think I did offer it.
I don't know the 24.
434 was
One of your lawyers, Robert Barnes, drafted on your behalf, correct?
Yes.
It was filed in a lawsuit to commence this lawsuit against these people.
Yes.
And one of the claims you made was that on June 17th, 2019, at 9:44 p.m., the Young Turks, by and through St. Uyghur, that's somebody associated with that group, yes? St. Uyghur is a person associated with the Young
Yes.
Turks, published on its Twitter account, quote, Alex Jones sent child porn to Sandy Hook parents. See Exhibit 1, the Young Turks Twitter account. And that's at the same headline made the Young Turks video page, where it still stands today. And so there was a tweet, right?
I think the attorney ought to be objecting right now. Your Honor, is there a question here? Is there a question on the table? This attorney has not made this objection once, and he's allowing this dude to run around and promote his bullshit.
And there was a headline associated on their video page, according to this paragraph, correct?
I believe so.
All right. And if you go further down, you say here that they hold themselves out as, quote, serious journalists with millions of followers across multiple social media platforms and the biggest media network on YouTube that is completely monetized by YouTube, et cetera, correct?
Yes.
And the point of that is to show that these people who you claim lied about you had a significant platform that could result in significant harm to you, yes?
Yes, and we weren't allowed to respond back because we weren't on that platform.
Okay. So, I'm going to strike right.
Sustained.
So, you then go down further, and let's go to paragraph 12. One of the things that you were bringing this case for was something called defamation per se, right? In a claim for defamation per se, the words are so obviously hurtful that they require no proof that they caused injury in order for them to be actionable. accusing a professional of deliberately sending child pornography to opposing attorneys, a serious felony, raises no questions as to its negative effect on your professional reputation, right?
Yes, they said my name.
Yeah, right. The idea is that this type of allegation is so hurtful that just the fact that it was made shows that there was damage done, right?
I'm not a lawyer, but under the law, if you say the name, too, you have to say the person's name.
Yeah. You're not a lawyer, are you?
But
Right. So you're not, right?
Mhm. No.
Okay. And
I would have ejected for relevance. I mean, that's just bullshit. But maybe in civil they're allowed to do all that shit. I don't know. I haven't done a lot of civil.
when you did this, you attached as proof. Oh, let's go to page 6.
See, I would be answering this as, well, I hired attorneys like you to put all this together. So you keep saying I did this. Actually, the attorneys I hired did it.
Yeah, page 6. And at the end of it, after you made these allegations, you said, wherefore, plaintiff respectfully prays for judgment against the defendants in a sum to be determined by a jury, right? Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
And as proof of the harm that you suffered as a result of this, you included an exhibit. And let's go to Exhibit 8. I'm sorry, page 8. This is Exhibit 1. Appreciate it.
I'm sorry to interrupt, counsel, but you're referring to an exhibit that's part of this exhibit.
Yes, thank you. There was an Exhibit 1
That sounds like a pretty direct statement.
attached to the complaint. Thank you.
That was come around to see the board here.
Yeah.
Sure.
That was so concerning to you, right? And there's a video associated with it, obviously not here on the printout.
No, it was what they said in the video where they said I was going to jail and I did it on purpose and a bunch of other incredible stuff.
I'm going to strike that, Your Honor.
Okay,
What you included in support of your lawsuit was this, yes?
yes, an image of the video so you can see the video.
And the headline was Alex Jones sent child porn to Sandy Hook parents, correct?
Yes.
Yes, but it wasn't just the title. It was what was in the video.
Now, as a technical matter, your agents did send child pornography to the Sandy Hook families. As a technical matter, correct?
Yes.
Okay. And down here, if you look at the bottom, how many retweets did this tweet have?
I would answer, I don't know how Twitter runs their things. Sometimes they change, sometimes they shadow ban, sometimes they add. I don't know. If you're asking me what the screen shows, I can read the screen, but I don't know how many retweets. And I'm not sure you do either.
You might have it in front of you, sir, if that's easier.
20.
20. And how many likes?
37.
Okay. And then over here, this is 132. Those are comments, yes?
I don't know.
You don't remember that? Okay.
The issue is the video, not
I didn't ask you any questions, sir. All right.
Since he wants to get that video out, when you want to get something out and they stop you, you need to hold that as an ace in a hole, and anytime any subject comes back that's around there, you slide it in that answer.
You can take that down. So there were 20 retweets and 37 likes, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we're going to put TYT. There were 20
Because I'm not sure he can. Can you see that?
and 37 likes, right? You've been watching some of this trial. Watts testified here earlier this week, correct? Testimony.
When attorneys make drafts like this and draw pictures, this is a way to burn an image or burn a topic or subject into the jury. Because after he finishes this question and answer, the jury is watching him write, they're watching him point to it, he's going to refer back to it, and it's going to be in the background when he goes on to other questionings. And they get to stare at it. So this is a big ploy if you're on a jury when the DA or the defense tries to put something in front of you that you have to stare at.
That at a minimum, your lies about Sandy Hook
Writing in red.
reached 550 million just on social media alone. Did you recall that testimony? That's a yes or no.
Yes, I recall it.
You recall it.
Preposterous.
See, he just said yes or no. You're not going to tell me yes or no. You're asking me if what someone else testified. If you can show me his testimony, I'll answer it. I'm not going to answer yes or no. I don't remember his testimony exactly. And just because he testified to it, don't make it true.
Move to strike, Your Honor.
And so, sir, just remember, no comments, just
Oh,
answer
yes,
the
thank you.
question. Thank you.
Spread for years and years was that the families behind me were actors, correct?
I can't
That's
answer.
a yes or no.
No objection.
It's too complex. Sorry.
Motion eliminated.
Stop letting him play yes or no. Don't let him do that to you.
Can I have a sidebar on that?
I'll do something with different. Okay. I'll try something.
Okay.
Chris.
So just wait for the next one.
For years and years and years,
Man, I'm sorry.
Yes. We'll let
Mr.
them-
Jones, for years and years and years, you called these families actors, correct?
No.
That's not correct.
No.
Do you remember in your deposition, sir? I asked you about Robbie Parker, right?
Yes.
And you always called Robbie Parker an actor many times, didn't you?
The answer should be, when he talks about deposition, the deposition lasted however many hours it lasted, and it happened 2 or 3 months ago, and I do not remember every little thing I said. So if I state something happened in my deposition, I don't know if it's true or not, without looking at it.
No, I said it looked like he was acting.
You said it looked like he was
The
acting?
internet is a huge thing.
Mr. Jones, is your
Objection, my
testimony...
client wasn't permitted to finish his answer.
Finally, he objected. He didn't let him finish his freaking answer.
These are not yes or
No, Mr. Jones, I'm sorry, because
Right.
now I've lost the question. So can you ask the question?
You know what?
again?
Let's do it this way. Mr. Jones, would you agree with me that if somebody were to lie about a group of people and call them actors and having faked their children's death, that would be a horrible thing to say about something?
I did not call
Is it
them
yes or
liars.
no?
As to the vouching in proper form, it's a contrary voucher. Nobody cares whether he agrees with Mr. Manager.
All right, sustained.
Mr. Jones, if someone were to falsely claim that a group of families who had lost loved ones were actors and had faked the deaths of their loved ones, that would be a horrible thing to say, correct?
In the context, it could be, yes.
Could be. And if somebody were to spread that claim to millions and millions and millions of people, one would expect those families who have been falsely accused to be damaged, correct?
Objection, speculation, judgment.
Overruled.
Yes or no, sir?
I cannot answer this question truthfully without violating the court's order.
Well, why don't we have an invocation then?
What's an invocation?
Oh, no, wait, Judge. This
All
is
right.
improper. I'm going to object.
So why don't I excuse the jury for a minute? This shouldn't be too long.
All right. Oh shit! I'm at 30 minutes again. All right. I'll be back.